You wake up early. You meditate. You write down your goals with care. Every morning, you visualize the life you've been dreaming about. You speak your affirmations out loud, with conviction. You try to stay positive, grateful, aligned. And yet, when you look around, nothing seems to change. The scenery shifts slightly, a new month, a new journal, a different vision board. But underneath, the same emotions, the same struggles, the same life on repeat. You wonder, why does it still feel like I'm stuck in the same movie? Relationships may change, but the patterns stay eerily familiar. Money comes in, then somehow disappears again. Moments of hope are followed by the same quiet disappointments. It feels like running on a treadmill. Exhausting effort, no forward motion. And somewhere deep inside, a voice begins to whisper louder and louder. What am I doing wrong? Why is nothing working? Here's the truth, it's not your fault. It's not because you're lazy or unworthy. It's not because you aren't trying hard enough. The issue isn't your dreams or your intelligence or even your actions. The real issue is your frequency. Most people believe manifestation is about doing more. More rituals, more tools, more effort. But the quantum field doesn't care about how many hours you spend visualizing. It doesn't care how badly you want something. It only listens to one thing: the signal you broadcast when you're not performing, the energy you carry beneath the surface, the vibration you embody when no one's watching. It's not the vision board on your wall. It's the unspoken tone of your life, the truth that lives in your body, your breath, your nervous system. And here's the shocking part. If that inner frequency hasn't changed, no amount of external effort will matter. You can repeat, "I am abundant," 100 times a day. But if your body is still wired for fear and scarcity, the field doesn't hear abundance. It hears lack, and it reflects that lack back to you, perfectly and faithfully. Think of the quantum field like a flawless mirror. It's neutral. It doesn't judge. It doesn't decide what's good or bad. It simply reflects exactly what you're sending out. So if you're broadcasting the same emotional frequency day after day, it will keep giving you a matching reality, not to punish you, but out of pure coherence. That's why new relationships often feel just like the old ones. Why money slips through your fingers, no matter how hard you try to hold on. Why even when you change the outer details of your life, the inner story remains the same. It's not because you're broken. It's because the field is responding with precision to the signal you've been unconsciously emitting. And here's the good news. This also means you can change it. Not by adding more on top, more techniques, more books, more courses, but by dissolving the old signal at its core. Because until you stop vibrating like the version of you that you've outgrown, you'll keep manifesting that same old reality. Different faces, different places, same loop. In this series, you're going to learn how to break free from that loop. You'll discover how to shift your frequency so completely that the field has no choice but to reflect back something entirely new. But first, take a deep breath. Let yourself feel the truth of this moment. You're not failing. You're not stuck forever. You've simply been speaking one language with your words, and another with your energy. And starting now, we're going to bring those two into alignment. The loop ends here. The shift begins now. Your conscious mind has dreams. It wants love, abundance, health, freedom. But your subconscious mind? It has only one mission: keep you safe. And here's the catch. Safe doesn't mean happy. Safe doesn't mean fulfilled. Safe simply means familiar. Every moment of your life, your subconscious has been recording. Every heartbreak, every disappointment, every belief you've ever absorbed, from family, culture, school, society. Piece by piece, these experiences merge into patterns. Thought patterns, emotional patterns, behavioral patterns. Neuroscientists call them neural pathways, grooves in the mind that run automatically, without effort. They dictate how you respond to stress, how you view relationships, how you handle money, how you react to opportunities or rejection. These pathways don't ask for your permission. They run silently, shaping 95% of your thoughts and actions each day. Only 5% of what you do comes from conscious choice. Think about that. 95% of your life is driven by old programming. And this programming doesn't just live in your head. It lives in your body. Your nervous system memorizes your past as a state of being. If you've spent years in fear, your body becomes conditioned to fear. If you've lived in scarcity, your body assumes scarcity is normal. Your heart rate, your breathing, even your posture. All of it becomes part of the signal you send out to the world. The field doesn't respond to the affirmations you speak out loud. It responds to the frequency you embody without even realizing it. That's why you can say, I am abundant, while your shoulders stay tense, your breath stays shallow, and your stomach clenches at the thought of bills. Your words say abundance. Your body says fear. The field always listens to the louder signal, and that's the one beneath the surface. This is why surface-level manifestation techniques don't always work. You can light candles, create vision boards, repeat mantras. But if the deeper frequency hasn't shifted, you'll keep attracting the same experiences over and over. Not because you're bad at manifesting, not because the universe is against you, but because your subconscious has been trained to recreate what feels familiar, even if that familiar reality is painful. To the subconscious, familiar equals safe. Safe equals survival. And survival always wins over growth, until you consciously rewrite the program. Here's the shocking truth. You don't manifest what you say you want. You manifest what your nervous system believes is safe to have. If love has always been paired with rejection, your body will resist healthy relationships. If money has always been tied to stress, your system will sabotage financial growth. It's not personal. It's physics. The field mirrors your dominant vibration, and 95% of that vibration comes from unconscious patterns. But here's where everything begins to change. When you bring awareness to these patterns, you start to take back your power. You begin to notice the moment fear shows up, the instant your old story tries to pull you back, the second you slip into a reaction that no longer serves you. That moment of awareness is the first crack in the loop, the first sign that you are no longer a prisoner of your old frequency. Because once you can see the pattern, you can shift the pattern. And that's exactly what we'll explore in the next episode. How to recognize the invisible loops that keep running your life, and how to finally step out of them. Imagine reality as a vast ocean of infinite possibilities. Every potential life you could ever live is like a wave, waiting to take form. This is what scientists call the quantum field. It's not mystical. It's physics. And here's the rule. A wave doesn't collapse into reality until it meets a strong, coherent signal. That signal is you. Your thoughts, emotions, and energy aligned as one. Here's the problem. Most people never reach true alignment. Their minds say one thing. Their bodies say another. Their emotions are scattered in every direction. One part of you might be visualizing abundance, while another part is secretly terrified of losing it. One part of you says, I deserve love, while another whispers, I'll just get hurt again. This scattered energy creates a weak signal, like trying to tune a radio with static. And a weak signal can't override the old, deeply embedded frequency that has been running for years, maybe decades. Remember the numbers. 95% of your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors are unconscious. Only 5% are conscious choices. That means when you try to create change, you're doing it with just 5% of your energy. Meanwhile, 95% of your energy is reinforcing the old reality. It's like trying to write a brand new story, while an outdated autocorrect keeps switching every word back to the old script. No matter how inspired your actions are, the underlying code remains the same. And the quantum field? It simply mirrors that code. This is why you can leave a toxic relationship, only to end up with a partner just like the last one. Make more money, only to see it slip away again. Move to a new city, and somehow recreate the same emotional struggles you were running from. It's not bad luck. It's not sabotage. It's vibrational repetition. Your subconscious patterns are broadcasting the same old frequency, and the field is faithfully reflecting it back to you, over and over again. Here's an example. Say you decide to completely change your life. You start a new business. You commit to new habits. You feel hopeful. But then, resistance creeps in. You procrastinate. You doubt yourself. Opportunities slip through your hands. This isn't random. This is your old identity pulling you back into what feels safe. Even if safe is painful, your subconscious says, we know how to survive here. We don't know how to survive over there. And because 95% of your energy is tied to this old identity, your external reality bends to match it. The field reflects who you are being, not what you're consciously wishing for. This is why forcing change doesn't work. You can't fight the field with sheer willpower. You can't just push harder or work longer hours and expect a new reality to magically appear. The field doesn't respond to effort. It responds to coherence, a deep alignment between your conscious desires and your unconscious frequency. When your thoughts, emotions, and body are tuned to the same signal, your reality reorganizes itself with astonishing speed. But when they're misaligned, you stay stuck in the loop. Here's the breakthrough. The loop isn't proof that you're broken. It's proof that the system is working perfectly, just on the wrong frequency. And if you can recognize that frequency, if you can tune it, you can shift your entire reality. In the next episode, you'll learn how to spot the exact moment when the loop tries to pull you back, and how to use that moment to step into a completely new version of yourself. Here's something most people don't realize. Your biggest breakthroughs often arrive disguised as breakdowns. Right before a quantum shift, life doesn't feel magical or inspiring. It feels heavy, confusing, chaotic, like nothing you're doing is working. But this is the paradox. That moment of chaos is often the clearest signal that the old frequency is dissolving. Think of it like this. Before dawn, the night is always at its darkest. Before a seed sprouts, the soil shakes and cracks. Before a caterpillar becomes a butterfly, it literally melts inside its cocoon. Transformation is messy by design. It has to be, because for the new you to emerge, the old you must destabilize. And that destabilization can feel like falling apart. Here are 4 key signs that you're standing on the edge of a quantum shift. Sign 1. Old patterns flare up stronger than ever. You suddenly notice old habits and triggers returning with surprising intensity. A fear you thought you'd healed resurfaces. An unhealthy relationship dynamic appears again. You react in ways you swore you'd outgrown. This isn't failure. It's the last stand of the old frequency. Like a final storm before clear skies. Your subconscious is saying, "Are you sure you want to let this go?" It will tempt you back into the familiar, because familiar equals safe. But don't confuse safe with right. Sign 2. You feel pulled between 2 versions of yourself. Part of you longs for growth, expansion, and a new reality. Another part clings desperately to the old identity. It feels like an inner tug-of-war. One foot in the future, one foot stuck in the past. This emotional stretching is proof that a shift is happening. It's uncomfortable, yes, but it also means you're no longer fully aligned with the old self. You're becoming something new, even if you can't see it yet. Sign 3. Your body resists. Change isn't just mental or emotional, it's physical. You might feel unusual fatigue or restlessness, tension in your chest or stomach, sudden waves of anxiety, or even mild illness. Why? Because your body has been conditioned to live in the vibration of your past. When you begin to shift frequencies, your nervous system goes through a kind of vibrational detox. It's trying to keep you safe by pulling you back into the old state. But discomfort doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It means you're disrupting the loop. Sign 4. Synchronicities start showing up. The outer world begins to reflect your inner shift in subtle ways. Repeating numbers, symbolic dreams, unexpected opportunities, moments that feel almost like déjà vu. These are not random. They're invitations, signals that the field is reorganizing around you. But remember, synchronicities are not guarantees. They're reminders to stay aligned even when the external proof hasn't fully arrived yet. At this threshold moment, you have 2 choices. Retreat into the comfort of the old frequency, telling yourself, "Maybe I'll try again later." Stay present with the discomfort, trusting that it's evidence of deep transformation already underway. Here's a practical example. Imagine you've been manifesting a loving, healthy relationship. You've done the inner work. You've set intentions. You've visualized. And then, someone appears in your life. But they trigger old fears. Your mind says, "See? Nothing's changed. I'm back where I started." But here's the truth. This is a test moment, an opportunity to respond differently. If you pause, breathe, and stay conscious, you can choose a new reaction. You don't have to collapse back into the old story. This is how you step through the portal into a new frequency. The closer you are to a breakthrough, the louder the old loop becomes. It will try to scare you, distract you, pull you back. But if you can stay calm in the chaos, if you can see resistance as proof of progress, you'll cross the threshold. And on the other side, everything changes. In the next episode, we'll explore exactly how to anchor this new frequency, so it becomes your default state. And the loop can never pull you back again. You've come so far. You now understand why your old reality kept repeating. You've seen how your subconscious, your body, and the quantum field work together to recreate what feels familiar, even when your heart longs for something more. You've learned to recognize the signs of a shift, the flare-ups of old patterns, the tension between your past and future self, the resistance your body creates as you grow. And now, it's time to take the final step, to stabilize a new frequency so completely that the old loop dissolves for good. Here's the biggest truth of all. The shift doesn't happen through force. It doesn't happen by trying harder, hustling more, or proving to the universe that you're ready. The quantum field isn't moved by effort. It's moved by coherence. And coherence isn't something you do. It's something you are. Step 1. Begin with the body. Most people try to change their lives from the level of thought alone. They read books. They repeat affirmations. They think positive thoughts. But if your nervous system is still wired for fear, your body will override your mind every single time. Your body is the broadcasting tower of your energy. If it's stuck in survival mode, tight muscles, shallow breathing, racing heart, the signal it sends to the field is one of scarcity and danger. So before you rewrite your story, you must teach your body to feel safe in new emotions. Practice this. Close your eyes. Visualize the version of you who already lives the reality you desire. Not just what they have, but how they feel. Is it calm, expansive, confident, peaceful? Breathe into that feeling. Let your body memorize it. Even 5 seconds of genuine alignment can interrupt years of old programming. 5 seconds of coherence is more powerful than 5 hours of struggle. Step 2. Observe without collapsing. Awareness is your greatest weapon. When an old fear rises, don't fight it. When a limiting thought appears, don't judge it. Simply watch. Pause and ask yourself, is this thought coming from my past self, or from the version of me I'm stepping into? The moment you witness a pattern without identifying with it, you break its control over you. It no longer runs automatically. This is how you create space for a new frequency to emerge. Step 3. Release urgency. One of the biggest blocks to manifestation is rushing. When you demand instant proof, you send a signal of lack. It's like shouting to the field, I don't believe it's happening, so I need evidence right now. But the quantum field operates outside of time. There is no late. There is no early. Slow down. Let things unfold naturally. Your only job is to hold the frequency of your future self until the external world reorganizes to match it. Step 4. Stop chasing signs. Become the sign. It's tempting to look for angel numbers, synchronistic events, external proof that your manifestation is working. But needing proof is another form of doubt. Instead of asking, is it working yet? Smile and say, of course it's working. My only job is to stay aligned. When you stop grasping for external validation, you step fully into trust. You stop waiting and you start being. Step 5. Live as the new frequency every day. A quantum shift isn't one dramatic moment. It's a series of small choices. Each time you breathe through fear instead of reacting to it. Choose gratitude over panic. Speak to yourself with compassion instead of criticism. Hold the vision even when there's no external proof. You are strengthening your new signal. Over time, this signal becomes so stable that the old reality simply can't exist anymore. The field has no choice but to reflect the new you. This is the secret most people miss. You don't create the future. You tune into it. You don't have to build the new you from scratch. You simply have to stop feeding the old patterns, the old fears, the old stories. Because underneath it all, you've always been this higher version of yourself. You're not becoming someone new. You're remembering who you really are. So take a breath. Feel this truth in your body. You are not a victim of your reality. You are its creator. Always have been. Always will be. The loop ends here. The shift begins now. Welcome to your new frequency.